Hi you guys, it is Katrina here. Welcome to today's video. So, I got an IUD placed back in February. All was well. Why did I switch to an IUD after being on the pill? For one, I am a horrible pill taker. So I figured, I already have the Nexplanon, I have my, not that side, okay. I have my little scar right here. You guys probably can't see it, but literally that's from the Nexplanon that I had back when I was like, I don't know, 16, 17, which was a horrible experience, by the way. Like, I 100% cannot recommend Nexplanon. It made me bleed year-round. So Nexplanon wasn't an option. I already tried the depot. The depot, it was fine, honestly, for a while. I didn't have any problems with it until when I was, I think, 6 months in and I needed to go get my other dose. I was having contraction like cramps and it was absolutely horrible. So for that reason, I stopped getting the depot and just switched back to the pill. And then yeah, I basically switched to an IUD. So I ended up getting Loletta. My doctor said it was hormone-free, just one of the many birth control options out there. She handed me a thing after I got it placed, which looks like it has hormones in it. So if anyone knows anything about the Loletta, if it has hormones or if it doesn't have hormones, let me know, because I got told that it doesn't have hormones. So yeah, my experience with getting the IUD, my ex was with me when I got it put in. He's like holding my hand like I was going through birth. I was literally just like laying on my back. He's over here holding my hand. I'm like, eh. And he's like, it's gonna be okay. Like, yeah, it definitely hurt to get an IUD in, because they have to literally stick a tube right up your vagina, right up your cervix, into your uterus. And then as soon as they push the IUD out that comes through the little top of the tube, and it comes out, they take it out, that fun stuff. I didn't have any problems with it. Like, as soon as I got it put in, I'm like, yeah, go me. Like, I was really happy. I was in such a better mood as soon as I got that put in. I was just happy in general. May comes around and I bleed. I think I'm on my period, so it's not a problem. And then I end up bleeding for another week, and then another week. And then I bleed for another week, and I'm like, maybe I should go to the doctor about this. So I go to the doctor, they check me out. She says that she can see my streams and everything. She said basically looks like it's fine, right? I'm not having any pain, I'm just bleeding. She decides to schedule me for an ultrasound, and I had my ultrasound 2 days ago. I was paying close attention to the ultrasound as possible, just seeing if there was anything going on. My biggest concern was an ectopic pregnancy, which is not something anyone wants to have, because A, it's life-threatening to you, it's life-threatening to the baby. That shit could happen. It wasn't an ectopic pregnancy. I honestly didn't see the IUD on the ultrasound at all. Like, hey, I don't see it, where's the IUD? She's like, oh, it's there. I'm like, but where? And so she wasn't showing me. To say the very least, it was not in my uterus anymore. So after the ultrasound, because first they have an ultrasound room, then they have like a patient room, so they had me go to the patient room. I sit down and the doctor comes in, and the doctor kind of explains, so the IUD is out of place. Instead of it being in your uterus, it's like in this little, I can't really show you guys for example, but if you look up a picture of a uterus, you'll see the uterus, you'll see this long piece, and then you'll see the cervix, and then the vagina. My IUD was in between my uterus and my cervix, and that little tubey thing, and it was just hanging out there. And then he said, we're gonna have to remove it. So at this point, I'm like thinking, okay, is this going to hurt? And he's like, no, it shouldn't hurt. I've had to remove several IUDs before. This is not a problem. Like, he's experienced, he's done this before. He opens me up, and let me just say, I have a male doctor, I have a female doctor. My female doctor, I never have a part with getting opened up, but the male doctor, he is rough. I don't know if he just gets too close to my cervix or he just doesn't do it right, but it just freaking hurts. But I'm laying there on the chair, right? Legs wide open. He can see everything. And he takes a tug and it doesn't come out. He takes another tug. I'm kind of like laying there pushing on this part of my stomach just because I'm like, ooh, that hurts. To really describe how painful that was, it felt like he was ripping out my uterus. As weird as that sounds, or like pulling on my cervix. I don't really know how to describe it, but literally I thought everything that was in here, I thought it was going to fall out. I counted a total of 6 times that he pulled on my IUD to get it out of my body. As soon as that got taken out, I had a moment to just breathe and everything like that. He tried to talk me into getting another one placed in, and I honestly, at this point, I was just like, you know, I'm gonna have to really think about it, because that, I do not want to go through that again. I do have a picture of the IUD, by the way, which I do think there is a reason as to why he was struggling so much to get it out. Look at the picture. So as you can see, those strings are so short. If that IUD were to get stuck anywhere, okay, if it was to get stuck anywhere where it wasn't supposed to be, I would have had to have surgery. Get this, okay? Those strings are supposed to go from your uterus down to your cervix and a little bit out of your cervix into your vagina. Tell me how, in perspective, right? Tell me how that was possible. The doctor also did explain how I had a tilted uterus, which is not new to me. I was born with a tilted uterus, is basically born with PCOS. What other kind of issues do we have to go through for, you know, the rest of my life? It's not going to be an IUD though. I'm definitely not going to get another IUD because that was horrible.